Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You are here on the home of the slightly above average ship review. Got a match for you today in the Italian Tier 5 Tech Tree Destroyer Aviere. Probably pronounced that wrong. We're on north, and I think we are down here in Aviere. Going to WoW's builds really quickly. The damage record 119,766. The base XP record, same game, 3135. So GG to that player. We will get, relatively close to that. Unlike a lot of the other Italian ships where you see your damage at the end of the game between 30 to 70,000, this ship I think has good damage potential. Not for any specific reason other than at Tier 5, I think you get a lot of people just dipping their toe into the upper tiers, maybe not really fully up on how to play. That's just my guess. Looking at the stats, Sigma of Aviere 2.0, 2.69 fires per minute with a 7% fire chance. Torpedo reaction time 7.55 seconds. And we don't have any kind of stats for the penetration capability of SAP. I will have a stat comparison coming up for you shortly. All right, Italian destroyer Aviere, which means airman, was one of 7 Soldati-class destroyers built for Regia Marina. This ship was laid down in 1937, launched in 1937, completed in 1938, torpedoed and sunk by HMS Splendid, which was a Royal Navy submarine, in 1942. All right, there, I guess I spotted somebody and shot at him a little bit, and we're going to use this rolling smoke screen to kind of get away, but I am going to turn back around. There's the enemy destroyer, a Gnevny. So, yes, even though I'm a gunboat, the Gnevny is kind of scary to me. So we will do some evasive maneuvers, and in doing so, we dodge some torpedoes. And now we can use this SAP to punish Gnevny at our leisure. And there's another ship, a cruiser out there. We are continuing to shoot at Gnevny using our speed boost to make ourselves a little bit harder to catch. And Gnevny gets taken out by the Ismail. So we're going to continue our turn. We do get set on fire. And we are being spotted somehow. So I'm going to launch some more torpedoes, because why not? And as you can see, before the speed boost ended, our speed was up around 45 knots in the water. These destroyers, again, very similar to French destroyers, big, fast, hard-hitting guns. Unlike the French destroyers, these have abysmal torpedoes. Abysmal. They're slow. They don't do hardly any damage. So yeah, similar but weaker, I would say, than French destroyers, just one man's opinion. You can definitely pile up way more damage in a French destroyer than you can in Aviere or any other Italian destroyer, in my opinion. All right, we bugged out of the Charlie Cap. Too many ships over there, not enough teammates. There were only a couple of ships behind us supporting. So we're going to follow this cruiser towards Bravo. As you can see, my torpedoes are missing. Are we going to try to kill pinch the New York? No, we are not. Alright, continuing to head towards Bravo. Maybe I can find some more history on Aviere. Alright, slightly improved version of the Oriani class. Blah, blah, blah. Length and beam. You guys don't need to know that. Wartime complement, 206 officers and enlisted men. 2 Parsons geared steam turbines, 3 Yarrow boilers. Somewhere, some guy who knows what all that means is very excited. Yes to depth charge throwers, no to sonar. And we're going into the Bravo Cap. And capturing bases should be part of what we do. The red team went heavy on the Charlie Cap, so we will just go into the Bravo Cap. And this is one of the shrunken down maps. I hate to say I'm not really a fan of the shrunken down maps in any measure. Here we try to use another rolling smoke screen to help out our teammate. I don't think he takes advantage of it in any way, meaning I think he's probably dead by the time the smoke screen is over. But we're just doing what we can. This other ship up here, some kind of battleship maybe, starts with a K. He got killed. Warspite over here launched torpedoes anyway. But our smoke is coming to a close. And like I said, this enemy, or this friendly cruiser over here did not take less damage because of our smoke screen. I think he maybe took more damage? I don't know. Anyway, he's dead now. So that shouldn't be a problem. We're going to try to capture up Bravo. Going back to our historical notes, participated in the Battle of Calabria, which I can't tell you anything about. Battle of Cape Passero, seriously damaged by gunfire from HMS Ajax, which was a Leander-class light cruiser. As we escape the cap, because there's no need to stay in there. Emile Bertin, I think we're just going to spot him and call that a day. Blah, blah, blah. Participate in some failed convoy operations and escorted some ships back to base, such as heavy cruiser Trieste and battleship Vittorio Veneto, which was torpedoed by HMS Urge, another British submarine. Some more convoys, escort missions, transport missions. Finally torpedoed and sunk by the Splendid. 220 men were lost, including the commanding officer, Captain Ignazio Castro Giovanni, who was posthumously awarded the Gold Medal of Military Valor. That's the history of Aviere. Alright, here I decided to go up the middle between the caps to try to get some anything going here in my game, which so far has been really lackluster. There are 4 enemy ships left. We're down. How could this be the game that we're going to do the review on? Just you wait, folks. To quote John Paul Jones, I have not yet begun to fight. Alright, so we're doing the loop. We launched some torpedoes at Furitaka over there. Are we going to shoot at Furitaka? Yes, we are. But I want to say I think he gets killed before those shells hit. Alright, we hit him and didn't do any damage, really. And he does get killed. Alright, we burned a rolling smoke screen here. We don't have any left after this runs out. Thinking we were going to get fired upon. Warspite in the cap. Very dangerous. And right now, I want you to know I have 13,368 total damage in Aviere. So I know you're wondering, with 7 minutes and 20 seconds left, what are you going to do in the ship? And this is why I'm telling you that this ship, out of all the ships I've played in line, has the most capability, because I think the players at this tier aren't as good. I'm not saying the ship itself has the capability. I'm saying the players at this tier are not that good, and the ships have enough hit points where you can pile up enough damage to where you can get a high damage game. Just one man's opinion. Alright, so we're moving into the cap here. We know Warspite is in the cap. We've got a couple of speed boosts left. I've got a bunch of torpedoes that don't do any damage. This ought to be real exciting. Just before this goes in here, the torpedo damage of this ship, max damage 10,000. Alright, so we know what we're getting into. We kind of dodge those shots. We do get hit there. We will repair, and we will launch again. 6 torpedo strikes on the Warspite. No, just 5. And maybe if we had gotten the 6th, he would be dead. But he managed to dodge. So now we're in this uncomfortable position of where Warspite has pretty good secondaries for a British ship. So that's why I'm trying to get to the rear of the ship, where the secondaries can't exactly target me. And we were shooting that HE, and our propulsion appears to be somewhat disabled. So HE doing some damage here, managing to avoid a lot of that stuff. And anyway, a teammate kills him, so I don't have to. And we went from 13,000 damage to 57,000 damage based on those torpedo strikes. All right, so now we're spotted by the California. We're going to back up and present as small of a profile as possible to the nearest ship, which is California. Our team now has a lead of one ship. So we went from trailing 4-3 to leading 3-2. Meanwhile, one of my teammates just capped Charlie Cap, and we are in Bravo. And the California is just really kind of flailing because he doesn't know where we are. Now we do get a quick reload here, relatively quick, and we do have more torpedoes. However, I am loath to shoot them because I think the California is going to maneuver. So I'm turning myself to prepare for a quicker getaway. And we do launch one set, and we're just trying to get California off of the bow in, I guess, path he's going on right now. I was going to say trajectory. And we do get him to turn. I don't know if that's because of me or not because of me. We do get a solo base cap. I'm going to launch the second set of torpedoes at California, and then I'm going to exit stage right. And we do shoot a little bit of California. I'm not expecting that to set him on fire, and it does not. All right, so we launched our torpedoes. Meanwhile, the California takes out the Duca d'Asta. It is now 2 versus 2. We are up by 130-ish points. He dodges the first set of torpedoes. I think he's going to dodge the second set of torpedoes. No, he doesn't. No, we get 2 torpedo strikes, the Cap defended flag. And the California, is he flooding? No, he is not flooding. All right, so we got 2 torpedo strikes. We're up to 70,000 damage. That gives me some hope. We're going to go around the back side and go in the back door to the Bravo Cap. And all I really need the California to do is not be trying to get behind the island. If he is backing up or standing still, we're going to be able to send some more torpedoes his way. And by the way, he stopped the counting of the cap only briefly, and now he's back out of the cap. So we are continuing to accrue points. Gotta tell you, there might be a follow-on video at some other point about teammates losing the game in the very last minute. California does get the Kraken unleashed. Despite that, I'm still up by over 100 points. So all I have to do is not get spotted by the California. That's literally all I have to do, is not get spotted to survive. And I was in 2 different matches where all my teammate, the last surviving ship, had to do was not get killed and not necessarily get spotted. And in both cases, they pulled defeat from the jaws of victory and lost the match. And I was determined I was not going to do that for our team. So I launch my torpedoes, and then I hide behind a rock. And then, because I have to see if the torpedoes hit or not, we're going to back up. But I got 2 speed boosts. I can go back forward and get behind the rock anytime I want. By the way, 1, 2, 3, 4 torpedo strikes, high caliber metal. Can we sink the California? No, he healed himself. We will shoot some HE, and we won't kill him. So we'll shoot some more HE, and then we'll start going forward, and we set him on fire. Thus endeth the California for our only kill of the game. And we are now up to 96,749 total damage. Not as good as the damage record, obviously, as you know, but it's going to be enough to win this game. And this cruiser capping that base doesn't do anything for you, son, except for make you lose a little bit nicer. Doesn't do anything. You needed to kill me. You knew I was in Bravo because the California spotted me. He got killed in Bravo. So you had to have known I was in Bravo. And instead of going to Bravo, you went to Charlie. But if he had pushed up behind the California, I might be running for my life right now using the speed boost. But that didn't happen because this cruiser player made the wrong play. And we're going to make the right play. We're just going to sail out. And sure, because I'm greedy, maybe if I can get some torpedoes out at him, I'll do that. But now he abandoned Charlie because he knows he ain't going to win because he made the wrong decision. So whatever you do, folks, if you're the last remaining ship on your team and you have a points lead, don't get killed. That's simple. Just run away. And if you're the last remaining ship on the red team and you need to kill the last remaining member of the blue team in order to win the match, actually go towards where the ship was at. Because capturing a base at this stage in the game is not going to do anything for you. And he just kept going on into alpha. And it is not going to matter because we almost have 1,000 points right now. And that is the end of the match. To quote the great Sean Connery, thus endeth the lesson. All right. Here we are on the victory screen. High caliber medal, 96,748. Pardon me, total damage. 39 main battery hits, 12 enormous torpedo strikes, 1 big kill. We got a solo base cap and an assisted base cap. We ended up with 209,529 silver and 7068 ship XP and commander XP. In all fairness, I did have a game with more ship XP, base XP on the team result page, but this one was a lot more exciting. So you got the high damage game. Anyway, there we are at the top of the board. 1 medal, 1 big kill, 2356 base XP. My other game was around 2650 base XP. I found that in these matches, that's what you'll get in a good game in these Italian destroyers, around 2650 base XP. GG to the California Rostamam 420. Nice job on the Kraken. Your teammates let you down, brah. All right, let's go back into the port and take a look at our ship. Aiming system mod 1. And propulsion mod 2. And Aviere is fully upgraded, but not yet all the way to the next ship. Anyway, take a look at the loadout. 3 charges of the exhaust smoke generator, 4 charges of the emergency engine power, duration 27 seconds, so a bit longer than the ones previous to this. We ran the Epic Ship XP booster and the Common Battle booster for speed. Got this temporary Regia Marina camo, standard permanent camo not available. Why? Why Wargaming? Why? Early adopter flag. All right, taking a look at the specs, 14,300 hit points with our build. Got 1 individual and 2 quad 120 millimeter turrets, so 5 guns, 5 rifles, 10.3 kilometer firing range, 6.5 second reload, rather long. 12.9 second turn time. HE shells 1700 max damage with a 7% fire chance. SAP shells 2600 max damage. Moving on to the torpedoes, 2 triple tube launchers. They reload every 80 seconds. Max damage 10,000. 10 kilometer range at 56 knots, and the detectability is 1,100 meters. I'm going to let this run and talk about our stat comparison. So we talked about the hit points. Number 1 at this tier is Gepard, 17,200. We would slot in around 13th or 14th with our hit points. Firing range, number 1 ship Fushan, 11.1. We're slotting in around 12th, tied with T-61 and Fubuki. Armor piercing damage, that's what we're comparing to SAP, 3,700 for Gade. We would be tied for 3rd with Gepard and Eigel. Torp damage, number 1 ship Eigel, 18,400. Our torp damage will put us 2nd from the bottom above Vacheris. Max speed, 39 knots is the Fushan. This ship will be tied for 2nd with Anshan, Gnevny, and Vacheris. That's your stat comparison. Here's Luigi Rizzo. Nothing changed, so you didn't really miss anything with me not talking about it. But I guess we can talk about it anyway. Anyway, it's the same build I've used for almost all the ships in this line with Perceptive, because you don't need twist and track in one man's humble opinion. Anyway, if you enjoyed this review of Aviere in Early Access, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more slightly above average ship reviews. I got the Tier 6 and the Tier 7 matches in the can, but I'm going to keep working to try to get a better match for you guys in the following weeks. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you on the next video.